Another Wednesday, another grading every LEGO Star Wars figure ever. And this year has a little bit of a significance for me. I've said it a couple times. That LEGO set right there, which included this first figure right there, is the first LEGO set I ever got as a kid. So this is where my LEGO journey truly began, from 2005 onward. But even with that being said, nostalgia doesn't cloud my mind too much because this quality has just jumped up so significantly since then that there's only a couple really, really great figures. But we're at the point, no yellow skin tones, there's not a lot of bad figures. So let's just hop right into it and let's see what we got. And as I said, Anakin Skywalker, that hairpiece was not the right choice, but I see why they picked it. Especially since the Obi-Wan had just the regular plain hairpiece they had at the time. There was no way you were giving them both the same one. So this one, the torso print's alright. I like that they included the actual antenna and stuff, but it does end up being weird because there is no version of this Anakin without the antenna that isn't the glow-up version. It's a fine enough figure, but it has its flaws, so I'm giving it an even 5 out of 10. Now, the burnt-up Anakin, you can see that they kind of folded a little bit with this one. The figures being the exact same, but literally just a couple scars and scratches on the face. It's kind of a gross figurehead looking at it, especially when the burnt Anakins in the future are that good. This one, it's like a 3 out of 10. Now, light up Anakin with the no headset. Like, even though I said the figure's just kind of passable, it's one of those things where the light up lightsabers were just such a cool feature that they never brought back, even though I know for sure as like the years go on, they could have implemented them so much better. So, for this Anakin, they are amazing figures. I'm giving them 9s because they weren't perfect, but they were one of the coolest features they've ever done for LEGO minifigures. Now, I can't tell you who this brother is even supposed to be. It's not working for me. It's very bland. I think I've had these figures before, something like this, and I was just disappointed that they counted this as a figure. So 1 out of 10, no one should be doubting that. That is not an astromech, bro. That is a gas canister. Yeah, I'd be a little annoyed with this one. I'm assuming this came in the Sandcrawler. I think there was a Sandcrawler this year. Definitely not a fan of this droid. That's another 1 out of 10. And then how am I supposed to be happy with this? You didn't even bother giving a printing for the head on an actual astromech? No. Honestly, that's even more disappointing. That's a 0. No, it's gotta have a 1. You at least gave like the nice red printing on the front. It's not all bad, but it's pretty bad. Now for the Buzz droid, I always thought this was an interesting idea for it, even though it's completely inaccurate. I do like how with the leg piece, you can have it with the plate feature where it can go up and down with the blade. I like them, but they're not that good. I'm like looking at the ones I have built on my ship over there. They're nothing special, but at least they put printing on the domes. I think I'll give it a 6 out of 10. I'm way more positive on it than I am negative. Now, the classic boy, the Jet Trooper. I need to rebuild that backpack. Like, it's an easy backpack, like, jetpack build, but it just looks really nice. Like, it's cool. And plus the Trooper is a really good version of that Trooper, to the point they used it for since till like 2011, like 6 years they had this kind of style in the production. So you know what, 8 out of 10 on this guy is cool. I think I gotta give him a 9. I gotta give him a 9 because like the normal Trooper I think is 8. I don't think it's as iconic as the Snow Trooper and the like Scout Trooper and stuff that I gave 9s, but it's an 8 Trooper. Adding the jetpack makes it a 9. I think that's a fair assessment. Kashyyyk Trooper, I've said it before, he may actually still be sitting down. No, he's right here. This figure was my favorite Trooper I got as a kid. This is the same one I've had since I was, 6 years old? I probably got this around like the Christmas time or whatever, 2005, 2006. What a beautiful Trooper for the day. It easily is a 10 for me. They did everything they needed to. They turned the white Scout Trooper into a green Trooper, and they just added details. And in turn, it's $100+. It's like one of the top 5-10 most expensive Troopers because it's just so cool. I love it. I'm so happy I own one, and easy 10 for me. As I said, 8. I think 8 is fair for him. I don't think he's as good of a representation of the trooper as the Stormtrooper, the Snowtrooper, and even the OG Phase 1 that they gave in 2002. I think it's good, but it isn't great. I think we're almost there, and when you get to the newer style Phase 2s, like the one that came in that Turbo Tank Microfighter, you see how you put them next to each other. If you're cutting nostalgia out of it, it's a good trooper. It just isn't phenomenal. It isn't that top. And I do find it funny that the pilots, it's the V-Wing pilot. I actually am going to Google it right now. Oh, no way. Wow. Wait, they really did look like this. The V-Wing pilots really did look like this. The thing for me that's weird, is that they duplicated this pilot and put it in the ARC 170, which you are seeing it over there, does not look like an ARC 170 pilot. But for a V-Wing pilot, wow, that is accurate. I see why they did it now. But for a V-Wing pilot, what it's supposed to be, that's a 9. That's really good. I didn't realize it was meant for the V-Wing, and instead, I always thought it was meant for the ARC 170. So, since it was meant for the V-Wing, and we're looking at V-Wing troopers, that helmet in that helmet mode looks so much nicer on this than the normal Phase 2 we get. As I said, a step up. It's a 9. I love the little pauldron. It's crazy how much the one pauldron cloth piece is, like how much money it is. It sucks because I lost mine, but fine enough. I probably could just find one that looks like it and then put it on my trooper. Yet another one. I don't know if I could put that too far up. I really love the green coloring on this guy, but if you're looking at it from the fact that, it only came in the one set nobody has. Yeah, it's really cool. But if you're looking at it from the fact of, this is like a 442nd, let's look up what a 442nd trooper looks like. Oh my god, they do look like that. I was totally being stupid. Wow, okay, 9. I thought they didn't look like this. I really thought they were kind of folding on it a little bit and just giving them real basic markings. Nope, that's how that trooper looked. I'm done. Alright, 9 out of 10. And with this guy, the one that came in the ATRT, I do really like the fact that they added the insignia. It's the only one of these that has like real markings on it that isn't just like coloring. So yeah, another great little... It's not as red as I wish it would be, but it still looks really cool. 9 out of 10. I could have taken way less time and just been like, they're all 9 out of 10s because they are really good troopers. Vader without a cape is kind of cursed. I get that this is the version from the chamber where he flips from Anakin to Vader. That doesn't help its case. That is a 5 out of 10 figure without the cape. Once again, with the cape, very good. 7 out of 10. Torso, no, is it? Yeah, did I give it a 7? I think I gave it a 7 because I'm still not the hugest fan of that torso print. Light up Vader, like I said, 9 out of 10. Any of these light up figures are right there on the thing. They're not the perfect version of what they could have been, but the fact they're the only things they ever were, I think it was really dang cool. Dwarf Spider Droid. What? That, I guess that's not a figure, dude. Like, is this what we're gonna get to? We're just gonna find like straight up builds in the set that take more than like 8 pieces to do? Does it say 32 parts? Consists of 32 parts, it says here on the side. That's not a figure, bro. That's a build. So what, we're gonna start getting like battle pack speeders? It's a good version, sand blue dome. I wonder if I still have that in my collection. I know that's the expensive part of it. That would really suck if I lost that, but at the end of the day, it's not special at all. It's cool that they got a decent design down for it, like right at the start, but it doesn't, like, the colors are just wrong. Even though they're cool colors, it's just wrong, so 6 out of 10. Now this Palpatine, I love. I love the gray face on him. It just looks so evil. Yellow eyes. I think this is another 9. I think there are better Palpatine figures, but not many. Like, this is one of the peak versions of Palpatine you're ever gonna get. Grievous. The only Grievous with a cape. And I love that cape. I'm so happy I got one before this figure soared to $100. So, yeah, great piece. I made a short about how stupidly expensive the cape is. It's cool how it's like one of the only droids that actually has a proper head and neck attachment to a droid body. I think it's an 8. But that's the thing where it's like the other Grievouses are just like straight flat 10s. The other Grievouses, what they've done recently is perfect. But the fact they did pretty well in the first attempt is honorable. Classic Gonk. My favorite version of the Gonk. Just using the container piece was such a smart idea for the Gonk droid. But I can't really give it higher than like an 8 out of 10, you know? Like, it's really cool. It's just one of those things that Gonk droids in universe have such like an odd shape that you'd really never be able to make one properly unless you made a specific piece for it just because of their shape. I think this is one of the better ones you're going to get. Like, they keep trying and they keep failing. I think I gotta give it an 8 or a 9. I think that this is peak Gonk droid, and unless Lego really pulls something out of the darkness, they're not beating this. Imperial Officer. I'm sorry, man. If you're working for the Imperials, that smile is way too strong, dude. That smile is non-Imperial-like. It's a decent figure. I like the torso. The torso is very good. The hat's decent. I'm going to give it an even 5 just because I don't like that smile. Now, I said it before. This might be my favorite iteration of any of the Stormtroopers ever. Because you just added on top of what was already an amazing figure in the planned basic Stormtrooper and added gorgeous hip and leg printing, dude. Like, the only thing I think you could even say is maybe do a little bit of printing on, like, the area between the legs. But I don't think any figure has really done printing there, right? Am I tripping? Oh, some figures do. As you can see, they put printing there. If that, I could, honestly, I would be, no, you can't. For what they did, because I know they couldn't figure this out at the time. For what they did, that's a 10 out of 10. But I can only picture how good it would be if they printed that little black marking on there. Because, like, you're already at the top of the top, but it's the top of the top for what you have in 2005. Jawa. It's the first one, huh? Did it really good. Like, there's no denying it. Jawas haven't really changed much since. These are great, solid figures. I think I might have to just give it like a solid 8 or 9 out of 10. Yeah, 9. Solid 9 out of 10. You kicked it out the park with the Jawa on the first pick. Light Up Luminara bugs me because they never made a Luminara in this form without the light up. All the other 4 figures have a variant that is light up or non-light up. Even the Windu. But they never gave a non-light up Luminara. I find that a little weird. Still, I think because of that, because I have that slight issue with Luminara, it's still a good figure. Like, it's still a fun figure for the time. I think I'll give it, I said it, all the light up sabers are 9s. And the fact that you did get a Luminara back in the day, even if this was the only version you could, is a cool thing. Windu with the light up, like I said, 9 out of 10. I don't think this is a great version of Windu. We'll get to that there, but the light up function on him was really cool. A little annoyed when I look back at it, knowing that I ended up getting a version of Windu that wasn't the light up version, so that's a little sad, but we take it. Medical droid. That's one of those cases where I can kind of see why they did include this as a minifigure, and it is pretty good for a medical droid. Like, all the different arms with all the different tools. It's cool. It makes sense for the set it was in. I think, 7 out of 10. They did a solid job on this buildable medical droid, and they've done more since, and they're pretty dang similar. Obi-Wan. It's interesting, because doesn't Obi-Wan have variants that are with and without the antenna, the like mouthpiece that from when they were in their spaceships? The orange, it's almost a little too orange. The figure has its charm, but I can't say that it's one of my favorites. I think he's slightly better than the Anakin, so I think I'll go with 6 out of 10. And even though it doesn't have the cape, it has the little antenna. Like we were just talking about it, he gets one of each variant. I think that's cool that Lego went out the way to, they wouldn't do it today. They just reused the head. So the fact that they actually gave him the antenna in his starship. Lose the cape, add the print, equals the same score, 6 out of 10. Light up version, you gave him the hood. The hood, now that I think about it, the hood is a weird inclusion. because when he was fighting Anakin at Mustafar, he didn't have his freaking hood. Like, even Anakin, he had the cape, but he didn't have the hood. Why did they include the hood on this one? But yeah, 9 out of 10. Like I said, all light up sabers are such cool figures. I just do find it weird that they gave him a hood instead of just this hairpiece. Owen Lars. I bought this figure at Brick World Chicago a couple years back just because I wanted an Owen Lars figure, and he had it for like relatively cheap. Definitely didn't buy it for 35, 45 bucks. The newer figure's better. The newer figure isn't too much better, you know? They only really changed the face print. So it's a decent figure. I think it's a 7 for Owen. Treadwheel droid. I think this is a decent build for it. Like, that's solid part usage. I like the orange. It's, yeah, 6. Sure. Like, I don't hate it, but I also, like, wouldn't build it and put it on display. Wookiee Warrior, man. I actually really like this figure. I have, like, 1 or 2. And, I really mess with the printing that they put on it. The gold on the, like, tip of the head. Like, they really did cook. I think this is a 7 or an 8 out of 10 figure. And I'll give it an 8, because it also isn't just a Chewbacca print with different things. They put a whole new mold into this guy. I can't believe he's as cheap as 12 bucks. That's wild. That's it. We have finished the year. I've been recording for 28 minutes. These are starting to become a bit of a longer series, so I think anything over this. Let's give a little check of some of the years. Okay, one it'll be a couple more episodes before we start getting into 2-parters. But I think it's safe to say that once we get to year 2011, where there's 63 figures, you have to respect my thoughts and being like, that'll be a very long video. But until then, you'll get a year per week. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Like, subscribe, do all that stuff, and I'm out. Peace.